Okay, let's dive into one of the most significant intellectual clashes in modern Indian history. We're talking about a profound and, a deeply consequential debate between two absolute titans, Mahatma Gandhi and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, and how their ideas would go on to shape the very soul of a new nation.
Just listen to these words. They were spoken by Ambedkar to Gandhi the very first time they met, and they just cut right to the heart of their disagreement, setting the stage for a conflict of ideas that would echo for generations.
So, to really get a handle on this, we're going to break down their historic debate into 5 key areas. We'll start with their first confrontation and go all the way to the enduring legacy they left behind.
All right, first up, it's absolutely crucial to see this as way more than just a personal disagreement. Each man was a giant in his own right, representing vastly different communities and really different visions for India itself.
And that's why their debate isn't just something for the history books. You see, the fault lines they exposed back then, they're the very same ones that continue to define the social and political landscape of India today.
So where did this all start? Well, their ideas first clashed on the world stage, and it all centered on one critical question. In this new India that was coming, who really gets to speak for its most marginalized people?
At the Second Roundtable Conference in London, their positions were just worlds apart. On one side, you had Gandhi, who claimed to represent the untouchables, but on the other, you had Ambedkar, who was from that community, insisting that only one of their own could ever truly fight for their interests.
You have to understand, for Gandhi, his biggest fear was that creating a separate political path would permanently fracture Hindu society. He was desperately hoping to reform it from the inside. For him, the end goal was unity through reform. But from Ambedkar's perspective, this wasn't about division at all. It was about political survival. He argued that a separate electorate was the only way to guarantee real, tangible power and protection for a community that had been systematically crushed for centuries.
And wow, things escalated fast. What started as a philosophical argument in London turned into a massive political crisis in India within a year. It all came to a head when Gandhi, from prison, literally put his own life on the line to protest the decision.
But this wasn't just about politics. No, it went way deeper, right into their views on religion itself. The question was fundamental. Could Hinduism be fixed, or did it need to be rejected entirely?
In this slide, this really gets to the core of it. Gandhi, a devout Hindu, saw a way to cleanse the religion of its sins, to reform it. Ambedkar, looking at the very same religion, saw those sins as being baked into its very structure, irredeemable.
So Gandhi's whole strategy was about transformation from within. He believed that by reinterpreting core ideas, he could turn the religion into a powerful tool for social justice. It was all about finding that moral core and making it work for everyone.
Ambedkar's response, it was direct, and it was devastating. He basically argued that the problem wasn't a misinterpretation of Hinduism. The problem was Hinduism itself. As he saw it, the sacredness of caste wasn't some bug. It was a core feature. And this journey just shows you where his thinking ultimately led him. His conversion to Buddhism wasn't some impulsive decision. Nope, it was the result of a 20-year intellectual search for a faith that could offer the dignity and equality he felt Hinduism would always deny his people. So with these two completely different worldviews, it's no surprise they had two very different ideas about how to achieve justice. Was the answer a change of heart, or was it a change in the law? And here we see another huge split. Gandhi, the moral reformer, he put all his emphasis on personal transformation, on appealing to the conscience of the oppressor. But Ambedkar, the lawyer and constitutional architect, put his faith in the power of the state and the solid foundation of the rule of law. For Gandhi, it all came down to this idea he called samatha, a deep internal sense of equality. He truly believed that any justice that wasn't rooted in this genuine ethical respect was just going to be unstable in the long run. Ambedkar's take was, nope, that's not going to cut it. He believed that justice could never, ever be left to the whims of an individual's conscience. It had to be impersonal, guaranteed by laws, and enforced by institutions that were strong enough to protect the vulnerable.
So, where does all this leave us? Well, their debate didn't end with them, not by a long shot. It continues to shape the challenges and the conversations that are happening in India right now.
And this is probably the most important thing to remember. There was no winner here, there was no loser.
Instead, their powerful arguments created this foundational tension, this kind of duality of thought that still defines the Indian Republic.
And that's exactly why this isn't some dusty old historical debate. It's a living, breathing force that influences policy, shapes social movements, and echoes in the halls of Parliament to this very day.
And so that's the central question their incredible legacy leaves for us. The push and pull between these two powerful visions, one of moral transformation versus one of constitutional rights, that remains the engine driving so much of India's social and political journey today.